Right, okay, well, I've done a bit more work on this thing, and I think I've fixed the slowness. What I did was I took that idler pulley off. I've washed it in basically body temperature water and hand soap, because it's one of the mildest things we had. And then I put some rubber restorer on. Then I sanded down the edges a little, sanded down the outside of it, um, because it was a little bit slippery and a little bit shiny. Then I coated it in some rubber restorer. Um, what that's done is it's made it basically the rubber feels a bit softer now and a bit more, like fresh rubber. But the thing is, if I turn it on now, you see it's actually at speed. Ironically, it's a little bit quick, I think, because it might have been running a bit slow previously. But the acid test is, if you remember, it caused the problems further on into the tape as this take-up reel got full and it put more stress on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward right the way through the tape, and then I'm going to come back to this and I'll start playing from that point. Alright, okay. Alright, I'm quite a way through the tape now, as you can see on that reel. So, what I'll do is I'll unpause it now and I'll leave the track playing for a bit. What I'll do is in the YouTube description thing, I'll put a link to the song on YouTube so you can see that it is actually now running at the correct speed.
Did you really love her when you touched her? Then you ran. Remember when you fought her, your own daughter, against a man? But guess what? She didn't make it. Locked up yet tough, forever naked. It was too much for her. As a lover, you are a monster to me. Might be no other. Who knows the things that you've seen? It's hard to trust her when she don't trust me or anybody. In your broken house, you taught her to lie and covered her mouth. When she started to cry, shh, don't be too loud, or the others will soon find out about you.
Alright, I'll turn it off now and I'll just go through what I've done on the machine. First off, the motor was oiled afresh. So was this take-up pulley here. That was oiled. I mean, as you can see, that's spinning because the motor's spinning, but as you listen, that's very, very, very quiet, almost silent in fact. All the belts were replaced, so the belt from the flywheel up to this take-up pulley, the belt from the motor to this, and all the counterbelts was replaced. The spindles was all re-greased. All the mechanism that you can see there, all that was re-greased as well. Like I said, that idler pulley, it was took out, washed, sanded, had the rubber restorer put on it, and then it was put back in, but the spindle it sits on was also greased as well, so there's no friction there. The flywheel, the back of it doesn't actually bolt into anything, it just kind of sits on this metal bit here, but where it sits was greased again. Also on the top of the flywheel, where it hits this metal, is a small little foam pad. Now that had not had any oil on it on a month of Sundays, so I put some of that on before I put it back together, and as you can see, it's up and running. I think the tape heads could do with a further clean because they are still a bit dirty, but that's just incremental stuff that goes on. But at least I've got it up, I've got it playing, I've got it going at speed, and it seems pretty reliable at the moment.